Hello and welcome to today's video where I'm going to be creating looks with the Lethal Cosmetics Evergreen and Metamorphosis palettes, and I did receive these in PR from Lethal, so thank you so much for sending these over. I'll be creating one look with each of the palettes, and as you can see we have a very warm color story as well as a cool tone green color story. I absolutely love Lethal's mattes, and their shimmers have definitely been amped up quite a bit over the last, I would say, maybe year and a half or so. So let's get right into the two looks. Dipping into this lime yellow green shadow in the Evergreen palette and putting it right into the crease. This was definitely a little bit on the thin side, and I'm also extending it to the outer corner and then going into this beautiful bright green and blending that into the lime yellow. This one also takes a little bit of building up. And then for the outer corner, going into this beautiful deep teal shade and just packing it on to the outer corner and then working on blending that out. And going in with a smaller brush into that dark teal and just bringing it down underneath my lower lash line. Then I'm going to feather the lime yellowy green shade into the edges of that just to kind of reflect what I have going on in my crease. And then of course using some Fairly Pixie Epoxy and tapping it out on my lid, and I'm going in with this beautiful duochrome kind of brown yellow green shadow, and that's going right in the center of my lid. And it's super foiled, really beautiful. And then for the inner corner highlight, going in with this more sheer yellow. And here's the finished look with the Evergreen palette. Onto the Metamorphosis palette, going in with this bright orange. It's just gonna go right into my crease. Pretty much all the way through. Blending like a dream. I did prime with the Gimme Glow Parchment primer. I'm like almost finished with it, I can't believe. And then in the crease I'm going to go in with this red, kind of layering it on in there, but trying to maintain the orange as well. But I love that orange, super vibrant. Taking this deep warm brown, and it's going to go onto the outer corner. Usually like to tap it down first and then slowly go and blend it out. I'm gonna wipe off my brush to make sure there's like minimal shadow on there so I don't extend it too much. Just keeping it a little bit more controlled, and then I'm gonna go in with just a little bit more out here and blending it out. It's almost looking a little plum, at least to me. I'm not sure if that's translating, but taking that same shade underneath my lower lash line. Going back in with that orange I used in the crease originally, and I'm going to pop that right underneath my lower lash line. The inner corner highlight, I'm going to use this shade. I'm just going to go in with my pinky. It looks like it's a multi-chrome actually. Super pretty. And then on the lid, I think I'm gonna go in first with this shade right here, and then this shade. Of course, putting down some Fairly Pixie Epoxy and tapping it out. Using Refer 28 brush. I picked up some of that berry shade I mentioned that I was going to put down first. And then above that, going in with the peachy shade. Picked up a little bit too much, but these are picking up and applying so easily. Definitely got a little bit of fallout, but that's my fault again for picking up too much. I do feel like these two shimmers kind of blended into each other, and it almost looks like there's only one shade on my lid. So here's the finished look with the Metamorphosis palette. So obviously this is more of a first impressions of the palette. I haven't used nearly all the shadows, but I do have quite a bit of experience with their mattes, especially because they have always been very consistent. I love their mattes. They're one of my favorite matte formulas, very blendable and very easy to layer, which is very important. No patchy issues or anything like that. You don't have to start with the darkest and then blend to the lightest. You can start with the lightest and then build up if you want to. So I absolutely love the mattes, and I think these performed just as well as all the other mattes that I've tried from them. And then as for the shimmers, they have not had the best shimmer formula, but they have really amped it up over the last 2 years, I would say, but especially like really nail it down in the last year. They have this like new sparkly formula. I think you can kind of see these are a little bit more textured, but they don't accentuate skin texture. They're just more shiny, more impactful, and I do love that they include some more like duochrome shifty shadows in here as well. I love this color story. Very earthy, very fall, and I think you could create so many looks with this one. On to the Evergreen palette. I mean, just look at this color story. Absolutely beautiful. I think my only comment on this would be that I wish there was maybe some more lighter layerable shadows, but that could be totally just a personal preference. But I do love this color story, and I do love the shimmers that are in here. Again, there is a nice duochrome shadow down here, as well as I believe this one is a multi-chrome actually. These do have that new, really shiny, beautiful, impactful formula. So far, really enjoying this color story and enjoying the quality. So those are my thoughts on these two lethal palettes. And let me know in the comments below if you try these palettes and what do you think of them. And thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you next time.